guys, so this is kind of a brand new video but also kind of not. Don't worry, I will explain, so let's get into the video. Okay, so I have been trying to pick this series up for a while, and that's my Megz Moviez weekly roundup. Now, usually on that episode, I would sort of like wait until the Sunday and then tell you what I've picked up and also what I've watched. Now, I'm going to try something a little bit different, and it's going to be called Megz Moviez Weekly Watch. Now, basically, I'm going to kind of do two separate videos. On the Friday, I'll be doing my movie reviews and my TV watches in one video, and then on the Sunday, I'll do a pickups video. So if I pick anything up, or if I get anything delivered, anything like that, I'll do that on the Sunday. Because I think when I'm trying to put too much all in at once, that's when I'm getting myself confused. And I kind of want to do it sort of like, so there's movie reviews you can watch, and then you can watch the pickups another day. Let me know how it goes. This video will be all over the place to start with. I do apologise. But who knows? So just let me know in the comments down below. So like I said, this will be Megz Moviez Weekly Watches. So this is everything I've watched from last Friday to this Thursday, just been, so yesterday. And I'll just give you a brief talk about the films I've watched, brief talk about the TV shows I've watched, and then I'll let you know which film I enjoyed the most this week and which TV show I enjoyed the most this week as well. So I'm going to scoot over to the side so I can put posters up, and then I'm going to talk about the films I've watched. And if anyone's wondering, I do have Letterboxd, and that's where I keep track of all my film watches and all my reviews, so please go and check that out. Okay, so starting off the week, I watched The Bubble. What a load of crap. Yeah, this is going to be one of my worst films of the year. I was kind of hoping I was going to enjoy it because it's basically a behind the scenes of making a film during COVID, and I like the behind the scenes side of it. Yeah, no, it was bad. I cannot believe that was 2.5 hours long. Even just an hour in, I went, is it over yet? Nope. Hour and a half. Is it over yet? Nope. 2 hours. Nope. Half parts. Yes! So I really, really did not enjoy that film. I will not be watching that again, ever. I really don't recommend that film. Then, me and my mum have decided to finally start watching the Fast and Furious films. So obviously we watched Fast and Furious. Well, The Fast and the Furious. Sorry, you have to be specific. The Fast and the Furious. So it's the very first film. For my mum, she's only seen Tokyo Drift. For me, I've only seen Hobbs and Shaw and a little bit of Tokyo Drift. I don't really remember much of it, but a little bit. And because my mum brought the box set ages ago and she wanted to watch it and I wanted to watch it as well, I thought I want to get into this franchise. We thought, why not just put it on? We've been meaning to watch it. And you know what? I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I wasn't sure about it because I am not a cars person. For me, I've got a lot of friends that can say, oh, it's a Ford X something and something, whereas I go, I see a car. So I was a bit hesitant going into this, but I actually really enjoyed the first one. I definitely would watch it again. It wouldn't be in like my top 100 movies list or anything like that, but it is still really enjoyable and definitely worth a watch. Then I watched Ice Age. Yes! Because I'm finally working on my Ice Age ranking and my Blue Sky Studios ranking. Now the reason why I pushed these forward, because I was going to wait a couple of months after I've done my other rankings that I've been planning, but because I remembered that Blue Sky Studios has now stopped, I figured why not do that ranking first, because at least I know there's going to be no more Blue Sky Studio films. So I'm currently watching those, and of course the first one was Ice Age. Love Ice Age, it's one of my absolute favourite films of all time. Sid, Manny, Diego, amazing friend group, love it. Love how they started out and how it ended, and it is definitely one of my favourite films of all time. Then on the same day I watched The Princess. Now this is the new film on Disney+. I ended up quite enjoying it. I will say my only issue is that at the start of the film feels like you've missed half of it in a sense, so it gets right into the action, and it kind of confused me a little bit because I was just like, when it got to a certain scene it made me feel like I'd like missed the first half for some reason. But aside from that, and also there's a bit of terrible CGI at points. There's a certain fire scene that looks absolutely bad. Aside from that, I actually quite enjoyed this film. It's a very unique tale on the princess side of things, where it's like she can take care of herself, she's a warrior, she's a badass. So I quite enjoyed that aspect of it. And there were some really cool fight scenes in this, and it did make me chuckle a couple of times. So it's definitely worth at least a one-time watch is what I would recommend. But I'd certainly watch it again. Definitely look forward to watching it at some point. And then the following day I watched Robots. So I haven't watched this film in quite some time, and not gonna lie, it did make me miss Robin Williams a little bit because he's such a good actor, and I'm so sad that we lost him. But hearing his voice and Robots is just so funny, and he's just like the best character in it. And it's definitely one I recommend you watch because it's such a weird take on the robots kind of situation, and even just recommend watching it just because of Robin Williams' voice and his character. Just flat out hilarious, and I do enjoy this film. Then on the same day I watched another new release because I am trying to catch up on movies from this year that I haven't watched yet. And that is Rescued by Ruby. Now, I'd watched the trailer for this on my TikTok, I think. It came up on my feed. And I thought, oh, this looks quite good. And I've gotten into dog movies a hell of a lot more since we got Luna, who's currently sleeping over there. But Rescued by Ruby, I want to talk a little bit more on because I feel like it's gone under the radar because I don't think it even made the top 10 list on Netflix. But it's based on a true story. So it's about this Canadian, I think it's Canadian, ranger who has ADHD, dyslexia. He's basically, he can't sit still, he's very fidgety, he's overactive and stuff like that. But he wants to be part of the K9 unit in his department. Now, the only way to do that is to have a dog. So it has to be a German Shepherd, although technically there's a loophole. And that dog has to pass this test to become part of the K9 unit. He ends up getting a dog that's exactly the same as him. So this is Ruby. And basically this is just a story of how them two work together and sort of like how the family got involved, how friends got involved. And it's such a lovely story, and I just seriously recommend people give it a go. It is an hour and a half, so it won't take a lot out of your day, but it is certainly worth a watch. It's got Grant Gustin in it. He plays the Flash. It was nice to see him in something other than the Flash role. But Rescued by Ruby is so heartwarming. It's got such a good ending. It makes you laugh. It's definitely worth a watch. So please, this will be my recommended movie of the week. Please give Rescued by Ruby a go. I think you will enjoy it if you haven't watched it. And then this was when I started my string of night shifts. So when I'm on night shifts, I do try and sleep as much as I can during the day, but I do like to try and fit a film in between sleeps. So first one was Better Nate Than Ever. Now, I wasn't sure about this one because I was just a bit like, looks a bit kiddish, you know. I actually ended up quite enjoying it, but I enjoyed it a little bit more because it's about getting Lilo and Stitch on Broadway. Of course, when Lilo and Stitch was mentioned, I was so much happier. But no, this, not just because of Lilo and Stitch and the whole fact of I would love to see it on Broadway. I actually ended up enjoying this film because of the kid, Nate. He was so good in this film, and his voice is so lovely. And I didn't realise it was a musical, kind of. It's not like a full-out musical where there's like tons of songs, but it is a musical film, and I definitely recommend giving it a go, even if you just watch it once, just for the adorableness of Nate. Then after that I watched 4 films in one day, so quite big for me. The first film I watched was ScoobyDoo Moon Monster Madness. Now, I got this in a subscriber mail, so if you want to check out the subscriber mail unboxing from Scott Meadows, thank you again. And also, if you want to check out my review for it, I have done a full video review for it, so I will put the link in the description down below for you guys to go and check both of those videos out. It was okay. It wasn't anything exciting, that's all I'm going to say. But I did like the plot idea. I just wish they'd done it a little bit better. So, very mixed feelings on that one. But I won't say any more than that because you should really check out my review for it. Then after that, I decided to watch Marry Me. I have watched this once before. This was a few months ago, but I never got to review for it. So I decided to rewatch it again. And I actually quite enjoyed this film. I weren't sure on this one because it was very much like, is it going to be the typical kind of romance? Which it was, but it was done in a lovely way. I actually quite enjoyed it. I enjoyed the songs in this one as well. That was fun. What else? Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson. I would like to see more films with them, to be honest. I think they had quite a bit of chemistry, which obviously is needed for films like this. But no, I ended up enjoying it a lot more than I did. I don't like the maths part because I'm terrible at maths, so I ignored the maths bit. But no, it's a very heartwarming story and it's certainly worth a one-time watch, at least. Just give it a go because I think it is better than what people expect. And then I watched Age The Meltdown. So this is the second film in the franchise. I didn't mind this one. For me, it's not as good as the first one. And there's a sequel that once I get to watch it is better than this one. For me, anyway. But it's still quite a good story. We get to the introduction of Ellie and Crash and Eddie. And they're adorable. I love the addition to them to the group. I don't know why Diego's got a fear of water. I mean, I get he's a cat and everything, blah, blah, blah. But it just felt so weird because Diego in the first film never had a fear. Now he's got a fear. It's very weird. But no, I really enjoyed this film. I think this is one of the franchises where you can't really have a terrible sequel. Well, I say that, the very new one, when I get to it, I'm so dreading watching it. Because I've already watched it once. It's terrible. But this one, it was like, normally when you get to the second one, it can either be hit or miss. This one, for me, was a hit. And then after that, I decided to rewatch The Royal Treatment. So this is kind of a Cinderella story in a sense. Just without the glass slipper, the magic, anything like that. It's just basically hairdressers, yep, helping a prince out, and it's just, he learns from her and everything. It's actually a very heartwarming story. I wasn't sure about it at first. When I watched the trailer for it, I was a bit like, kind of looks middle average. But it actually weren't that bad. And yet again, this is one of those ones I recommend as a one-time watch. Because it's certainly worth a go, at least. Because I found the story quite adorable. It's got Laura Morano from Austin and Ally. And then you've also got the guy who played Prince Aladdin playing the prince again. But it's certainly worth a go, so I do recommend it. And then for the next 3 films, they are all Fast and Furious. So the second day, me and my mum watched Too Fast, Too Furious, which is the second film in the franchise. It was good, but not as good as the first one. I will say I couldn't really get into this one. Neither could my mum, to be honest. It was nice to see Brian again. I love Brian. But I did miss Vin Diesel in a sense, because the first one, the family aspect, I quite enjoyed. This one, you don't get that. But I do like Brian's new partner in this film. He is hilarious and they get on so well. But would I watch this one again? I probably would. But it would only be during a marathon of all the films. So like when the new one comes out, the Fast 10, I'll watch it because it's obviously part of the franchise. But aside from that, I don't think it'd be one I'd watch on its own. Then, because me and my mum had enough time and we'd walked the dog, and we figured, you know what, why not watch the third one? So the third one is The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Yeah, this was my least favourite so far. I did not enjoy this one. It felt like it missed out on the action in the sense. So like the first two films, there was a plot that went with the cars situation. This one was just all about the racing, which I don't mind. There was some cool racing, but at the same time I liked having a side plot to go with the cars, because it felt like you got something else to be entertained by. So if you're someone that's like me who's not a big fan of cars, having the side plot to do with family, cops, robberies, stuff like that felt good. This one, not so much. And to be honest, I would probably skip this one. Both camera angles changed, my camera stopped recording. So yeah, with this one, I probably would skip it if I was going to marathon the movies again. But at least I gave it a go. You know, there's nothing wrong with giving it a go, is there? And then the last film was what I watched yesterday, which yesterday was my birthday. I cannot speak. Yes, it was my birthday on the Thursday. Whoop whoop. Me and my family gone to Cambridge for the day, to which I do have some pickups. So I will show them off on Sunday's video, because like I said, I'm going to try and do things a little bit differently. So yes, so after the Cambridge, after we went out for a meal, me and my mum decided to watch Fast and Furious, which is number 4. The titles can get so confusing if you don't have it in order. So Fast and Furious went back to what I loved about the first one. You got Vin Diesel back, you got Brian back, you literally got some of the actors back, and I well and truly enjoyed having them back, because I think that's what made these films, is Vin Diesel and Paul Walker and just the characters themselves. I'm a little bit confused at the moment with Letty's character, because I'd like to know how she's in the other films after a certain situation. Hopefully that'll be explained in 4. Please, no spoilers in the comments down below. But no, I enjoyed this one. It felt like it went back to what the first one was, which was about Dom and sort of like his protection of his group, and it was nice to see him and Brian, aka Paul Walker, back together after what happened at the end of the first one, because at the end of the first one I was like, oh, I'd love to see what happened between them two next. Did they stick together? Did they find each other? Do they go separate ways and then find each other again? In this one you do get that. It's also got Gal Gadot in it, which I was quite shocked about. I was like, oh, hello Wonder Woman. But no, I did quite enjoy this one. Not as good as the first one in my eyes, but it is close to it. It's second for me. And I definitely would watch this one again, because it was good, it was action packed, it's nice to see Dom again. I think Vin Diesel is a character, well, the actor that makes these films, and I think that's why I didn't like the second and third one, because he wasn't really in it. Well, the third one he had a cameo at the end, but you know. So yeah, also a little bit confused because I thought something happened to Han in the third one, but he's in this one, so I'm so confused. I'm very confused. I'm just like, okay. But hopefully that all gets explained. But yeah, so that is all the films I've watched this week. Now, my top film for this week, I'm going to do for this year and for classics I've watched. So classics I watched, of course it's going to be Ice Age. Ice Age was my absolute favourite movie of the week. That's one I've seen before. Well and truly enjoyed it. I haven't watched it for so long, and it was so nice to see Sid, Manny and Diego again. And then for me, my favourite film of this week from 2022, it's going to have to be Rescued by Ruby. I well and truly enjoyed that film. That's going to be my new release of the week that I well and truly enjoyed, and I definitely seriously recommend you guys watch it. So now on to the TV shows. So this is just going to be a brief overview. A lot of this is nostalgia, so bear with. So on Paramount Plus, I'm currently rewatching Victorious. I'm in a nostalgic mood and also a musical mood. So I'm currently on episode 7. I'm keeping track, don't worry. On DVD, I am currently rewatching Teen Wolf. So I'm on season 1 of Teen Wolf still. Oh, and I'm also on season 1 of Victorious. Gotta get that there. So I'm on season 1 of Teen Wolf. And the reason why I'm rewatching Teen Wolf is because the movie should be coming out at some point. So I'm really hoping I can get the whole show watched before the film, because I think I watched all the way up to season 5 and I haven't watched the final season. So it'd be nice to give myself a bit of a recap. Then on Netflix, I am watching Lucifer. I'm watching that again, yes, from the very beginning, now that season 1 to the final season's on Netflix. And that's because I wanted my mum to watch it, and she enjoyed the first episode. I don't think she enjoyed the second episode so much. But I look forward to seeing if she enjoys the rest of the show, because I certainly enjoy Lucifer. It's one of my favourites. Then on Disney Plus, I am finally getting around to watching more of the Marvel shows, starting with Moon Knight. I am on the final episode. I'll be watching that today. So I'll give you my full thoughts on Moon Knight in next week's video, just so you're aware. But at the moment, I am quite enjoying it. At first, I couldn't get into it, but then by the second episode, I really and truly got into it, and I'm now confused. So hopefully the final episode will clear some things up for me. Then on Shudder, I am watching Behind the Monsters. So I'm on the final episode of that one as well. So this is just a documentary series on some of the horror classics. So it's Jason Voorhees, Candyman, Chucky, Freddy Krueger and Pinhead, and I'm currently on the last episode, which is Pinhead. So I look forward to seeing the behind the scenes of that. And then on Prime, another nostalgic one, I'm watching Totally Spies. I'm also in a spy kind of mood. Don't know why, but I'm in a nostalgic kick, and Totally Spies just seems to be one of the ones on there. So all of these, I'm currently only on season 1 because I am watching an episode a day, because I'm trying to fit too much in at once, as always. So my favourite show of the week, I will have to say, is Moon Knight. I have really enjoyed Moon Knight so far. Hopefully the ending will be really good. If not, I'll be very disappointed. So yeah, so that is Megz Moviez weekly watches. So yeah, I'm going to try this out, see how it goes. Let me know in the comments down below. And if you did enjoy this video, then do give me a thumbs up. And also, if you are new to this channel, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell down below to be notified when I post. Cannot speak today. Sorry, I'm so tired from Cambridge. It's unreal. But yes, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!